Hi everybody, today we're going to take a look at the Salomon S Ultra Glide releasing 2025 for $250. It's Salomon's most cushioned trail runner to date, but it's more than a trail runner at $41.35 with a dual foam midsole and a new relieve sphere underfoot and midsole geometry. It has an upper, not matrix this time, but stretch knit with a lot of overlays. It was introduced in Chamonix at UTMB in a big event where Salomon got us all kitted up with the shoes, t-shirt, so on, and took us up onto the top of the Brevant, where we ran, hiked down and up, and also had wonderful kind of food experiences that reflected characteristics of the shoe. So that was kind of the rougher trail stuff. After that, I was able to run multiple times and hike in them in a variety of different places in Switzerland and also the U.S. So I ran along the coast, 10 miles at a good solid pace, great road shoe. I hiked them and met some friends, and I also took them for a very solid 8-mile gravel kind of trail run in the Engadine region. So here are my thoughts. First some details, and then from the run commentary. Okay, let's get into some of the details before I give you my from the run impressions from Switzerland and New Hampshire. So Salomon is positioning the S-Lab Ultra Glide as an ultra shoe for the ultra runner who's in the 30 to 40 hour range. And a light shoe at 10.3 ounces, 292 grams approximately for a US 9, EU 42. So to accomplish that, what they've done is go with max cushion here. 41 millimeters at the heel, 35 millimeters at the forefoot. Now, you'll see this very raised sidewall. Well, that's the support. It's similar to what's in the Genesis, and it's an unusual, it ended up being an unusual construction for Salomon. Let me show you how it works. They actually had to mold it in two separate halves, and they join it with a glue line down the center. You'll also see the foam. There are two foams here. The insert is their Energy Foam Plus, a supercritical foam, same as in the Phantasm, S-Lab Phantasm Inspector. And then the other foam is their Energy Foam, which we find in the Genesis and many of their other shoes. And then you can see in the back here, the Energy Foam Plus poking out. It is softer. So this is an unplated shoe, although the glue line down the center does give it some rocker and rigidity. In terms of the flex, let me show you. Not much flex, but there's a very nice rocker here. Let's get into the other key technical element before we get into the upper. So we have what Salomon is calling relieve spheres. These are concave elements at key pressure points of the stride and on the foot. From the toe, you can see here, metatarsals sort of towards the back of the metatarsals, midfoot, and heel. So what I found on the run is these four actually are really effective. Definitely notice relief and pressure. It's particularly felt actually on the road. On trail, what they do is sort of allow the shoe to conform to the terrain. The front ones here on the toe off, a big toe side. So where we toe off over here, you can see what it really plunges down. I think that's a bit thin. Let me try to illustrate. When you get on rocks, that's a bit thin. I think they could probably eliminate that one. And I'm not sure the heel one does too much good, but the other four are definitely felt. You'll also notice, to kind of accommodate the relieve spheres, we have a quite dispersed outsole pattern of about 4 millimeter lugs, 3.5 to 4 millimeter lugs. I think there could be more coverage through here. I'm not sure how they do it, but there's a little bit of slip on kind of loose gravel. And also, as I've run them most of the 30 miles, I've run them mostly, not mostly, but at least half on firm surfaces, such as road, gravel. I am seeing some wear already. A little hard to see, but you can see there's already some wear. It's a fairly soft rubber. But that rubber also gives this an incredibly mellow ride on firm surfaces. This is an incredible road trainer, I would say. If you want an unplated max cushion shoe with a lot of energy return. And of course, for ultras, but I would say the more mellow variety. And that, the mellow and the comfort, because this is all about comfort here for long hours, translates to the upper. This is not a matrix kind of upper as Salomon has done in most of their S-Lab shoes recently, or all of them. It's actually a knit, kind of a knit material with some stretch. So you have lots of toe box room, and then there are a lot of overlays. So the support is really good. The hold is good, semi-rigid heel counter. Lace garage works really well, easy to get to. We have a little bit of padding towards the top of the tongue under the garage. Plenty of padding in the collars. So this is a super comfort oriented shoe, in my opinion. Okay, in terms of fit, this is a US 8 41 1/3 Euro size shoe. I am usually a US 8.5. Sometimes the 41 1/3 is actually most of the time is ideal for me, with a 42 a bit big. So as far as US sizing, I think it's marked a little lower than it actually is. I think very few people would need to size up in this shoe. And as I did in US sizing, you probably want to size down half a size, especially if you have a narrower, lower volume foot. That would change if you have a higher volume foot. But generally, I think you probably want to refer to EU sizing here rather than US sizing to get a good fit. And those rear walls really do keep it quite stable at the rear. If anything, it's the front that could use a bit more stability. And I mentioned the relieve here. You see how deep that goes. That could be maybe more flattened out. So it's an excellent mellow long distance shoe for really any surface. I wouldn't take it fast on technical terrain. When I tried that, for me, I just thought it was a bit too soft for that. But if you're running 30 to 40 hours in an ultra, you're probably not going super fast in the technical. And on road, it's as smooth as can be. I'm going to give you a commentary from some of the road and gravel I did. Excellent kind of gravel ultra shoe. So let's get into some of the impressions from the run. Where does it sit, though, before we go to that in the Salomon kind of lineup? It's a shoe that's more Genesis, if you will, with higher stack, more cushion, focus less on technical terrain. It also is, although it has a lot of stack as well, the S-Lab Ultra François Daen is also oriented towards more technical terrain, probably the most technical terrain oriented shoe in the Salomon lineup. It sort of fits in a bit with say a Fresh Foam more trail of all things, and I think really their key target, because they told me, was Hoka and the Mafati Speed, which is a very popular UTMB shoe. So this is their answer to that. I haven't recently run in the Mafati Speed, but it is often the pick for the mid-packer. So let's get into those from the run impression. Okay, giving them a run here on the road in the Engadine. Very soft, energetic, excellent rocker. This is, I think if we're talking ultra here, this might be a superb road ultra shoe as well as moderate trail one. That glue line down the center I described really helps with the propulsion. But this is a soft ride, lots of rebound, and a smooth roll off the front. I would like to see the very front kind of curved area maybe toned down a bit. right at the big toe feels a bit, front of the big toe feels a bit thin as a result on trails, but here on the road leads to a really nice toe off. So this kind of single track, just fine. Smooth stuff. There was some mud. Pretty good grip in the mud. Very versatile, this shoe. So a lot of damage in recent storms here in Switzerland. Some of this path was washed out, but they moved it. So here we're on gravel. Of course, the traction is fantastic on gravel. So what am I seeing this shoe for? Well, it's certainly a trail shoe. I would say in the Salomon lineup, the S-Lab Ultra Dane, François Dane shoe is your more technical ultra kind of shoe. This is for your more mellow terrain. It's absolutely fantastic on this gravel and on pavement. I could see this being easily a very good long run shoe. Also a great shoe if you like max cushion with some energy return and don't want a plate, but you still want some active rocker, because there's plenty here, even with the flex, because of the relief sphere geometry and the way they put it together. Gonna keep going. So ahead of us there, the river is the Inn River, INN. It flows into Austria and Germany. I want to make a comment about how the outsole plays here. Yeah, we do have those 3.5 to 4 millimeter lugs that are quite widely spaced, but much as on the trail, this is a very seamless kind of feel. The outsole provides some rebound off the pavement with the softness. We got that rocker off the front. Plays really well on the hard surfaces. That conforming aspect of softness, maybe not quite as effective, if you will, at high speeds on rougher trails, but just a very kind of natural riding shoe here on pavement and on smoother stuff. Gonna keep going. Beautiful here. Okay, so the $250 S-Lab Ultra Glide coming in early 2025 is a very softly cushioned shoe that holds its own on, certainly on road, gravel, moderate trails. But for me, anyway, it isn't a technical trail shoe. It's all about comfort and deep cushion. As such, I think it's a really, really excellent also road trainer if you want a max cushion unplated trainer with plenty of toe box room and plenty of comfort. It is a great choice. My concerns are, as I said earlier, the shallowness of the toe area on trail, and also so far the wear of the outsole on firmer surfaces. But all in all, it's a great new addition of the more mellow variety to Salomon's lineup. Thank you very much for watching. The sample was provided at no cost by Salomon for this review.